The war room smelled like burnt wires and stale coffee. Hawkins' lab was running on borrowed time backup generators humming. Cracked walls reinforced with steel plates. Outside, the town slept uneasily, unaware that reality itself was beginning to peel apart beneath their feet. Owen stood before a whiteboard filled with symbols, equations, and rough sketches of the underground network. We've identified a vulnerability, he said carefully. Hopper folded his arms. You're smiling. That makes me nervous. Owens didn't deny it. The entity depends on connection. It can't exist without anchors people who have already crossed between worlds. Everyone's eyes drifted to the kids. 11 felt it immediately. You mean us? Owens nodded. If we sever the anchors simultaneously, the network collapses, the joining fails. Mike stepped forward. You're talking about cutting Will off. Will didn't flinch. I already know, he said quietly. It showed me. The room went silent. The hidden price Owens hesitated, then continued. There's a consequence, he said. Disconnecting an anchor doesn't just break the link. Lucas frowned. What does it do? Owens swallowed. It erases the imprint left behind. Dustin blinked. English, DOC. Owens looked at Will. It removes every trace of the upside down from the host, including the memories. Mike's face drained of color. You mean? Will nodded slowly. I wouldn't remember any of this. 11's chest tightened. The lab. The monsters. You, Will said, looking at Mike. Maybe not even Hawkins the way it is now, Max whispered. That's not disconnecting. That's losing yourself. Owens shook his head. It's the only way to stop the entity from using him as a gateway. Hopper slammed his fist on the table. There's got to be another way. But Owens met his gaze. We've run every scenario. 11's secret later that night. 11 stood alone in the sensory deprivation room, the rebuilt Hank glowing softly. She slipped into the water, closing her eyes. She wasn't looking for the entity. She was looking for the truth. Her mind stretched outward, beyond Hawkins, beyond the upside down into the space between realities. And she found something. A memory not her own, children screaming underground decades ago, scientists panicking, the ancient force stirring not because it was hungry, but because it was lonely. 11's breath caught. It's not evil, she whispered. The voice answered her, not hostile this time. We were separated. We were broken. You are proof that reconnection is possible. 11 clenched her fists. You don't get to rewrite our world. Every world ends, the voice replied. We offer eternity. She ripped herself out of the vision, gasping the decision back in the medical wing. Will sat awake, staring at the ceiling. Mike sat beside him. Eyes red. I don't care, Mike said. We'll figure something else out. Will smiled faintly. We always say that. Mike grabbed his hand. You're not a doorway. You're my best friend, Will's voice cracked. Then let me save you. 11 entered, eyes blazing. There's another weakness, she said. The entity can't complete the joining without a central consciousness. Owens turned. You mean? You. 11 nodded. It needs me more than Will. Hopper stepped forward instantly. No, absolutely not. 11 looked at him. I was created for this, she said softly. But this time, I choose. Will's eyes widened. You can't, I can. 11 said. If I become the focus, you can sever me instead. Silence. Owens whispered. That could kill you. 11 didn't hesitate. It will end it. Mike shook his head violently. No, we are not doing this again. 11 stepped closer to him. This isn't running, she said. It's finishing it. Outside. The ground trembled again. Cracks spread through the town. Time was running out. Hopper closed his eyes. God help us, he muttered, because they all knew whatever choice they made, someone wouldn't come back the same. Hawkins woke up screaming. Not metaphorically. Literally at T6:17 a.m. Every car alarm in town went off at once. Windows rattled. Power lines sparked. The ground shuddered like something massive had rolled over beneath the streets. People ran outside in pajamas, clutching phones, shouting questions no one could answer. And then they saw it. Cracks splitting the asphalt long. Jagged, glowing faint blue from inside the fractures. Cold mist rose like breath from an open grave. The merge begins at Hawkins' lab. Warning sirens blared non-stop. Screens flashed red. Owens shouted over the chaos. It's accelerating. The joining process has started early. On the main monitor, the underground map pulsed violently. Several nodes lit up simultaneously, too many to fast. Hopper grabbed a radio. Emergency units, pull civilians away from the fault line. This is not a drill. But it was already too late. Across town, buildings began to shift. A grocery store flickered, then half of it vanished, replaced by a rotting upside-down version. Shoppers screamed as walls transformed mid-step. Shelves bled rust. Lights burst. A school hallway stretched unnaturally long, lockers duplicating, numbers repeating endlessly. Reality was folding. The kids witnessed the impossible. Group stood on the lab's rooftop, staring at their town being rewritten. Dustin whispered, "Okay, so this officially be the Star God." Max gripped Lucas's arm. "This is what Will saw, isn't it?" Will nodded, tears streaming down his face. "It's stitching worlds together," he said. "But it's doing it wrong." Mike turned to 11. "El, can you stop it?" 11 tried to reach out with her power and screamed. She dropped to her knees. "It's blocking me," she gasped. "Like it learned how I think," the voice echoed again in her head. "Closer now. You taught us resistance. We adapted." Hawkins is no longer hidden. Military helicopters thundered overhead. News vans arrived. Cameras rolled. "This is Channel 7 News. An unprecedented geological event is unfolding in Hawkins, Indiana." Owen stared at the broadcast in horror. "No," he whispered. "If this goes global." Hopper finished the thought. "Panic, war, governments tearing each other apart, trying to control it." The entity wasn't just threatening Hawkins. It was exposing the truth. A door opened suddenly. Will stiffened. "It's focusing somewhere," he said. "Somewhere important." The map zoomed automatically. The old Creel house. Everyone froze. "That's where Henry heard it first," 11 said. Owens nodded slowly. "It's the original resonance point." The ground beneath the house collapsed inward. A massive rift opened larger than any gate before. Inside it, the Upside Down and Hawkins overlapped perfectly, and something stepped forward. Not Vecna. Not a monster. A shape made of shifting silhouettes, faces layered over faces, voices whispering over voices. Human outlines flickered inside it, like memories trapped in motion. Dustin choked. "The thing looks like people," were whispered, "because it learned us." The entity spoke not through sound, but through thought. "We are ready." The choice return zones turned to 11. Pale. "This is the core. If you become the central consciousness now." 11 stared at the rift. "I won't survive," she said. Hopper stepped closer, voice breaking. "You don't get to decide that alone." 11 looked at him, really looked. "You taught me how to be brave," she said. "Now let me be." Mike shook his head, crying. "There has to be another way." Will stepped forward. "There is," he said. Everyone turned. "It doesn't just need 11. Will continued. "It needs balance." "What does that mean?" Lucas asked. Will swallowed. "It needs someone to stay behind." Silence. 11 realized the truth at the same moment Hopper did. "No," she said sharply. "No." Will smiled sadly. "I was always part of it," he said. "This is how it ends." The sky cracked with thunder. The rift widened, and Hawkins began to fall inward.